Warning! This podcast contains death.
And spoilers.
Please.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the original Season 2, Episode 21, Fire with Fire. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Mike.
Hi.
And my co-host, Omikins.
Hey.
How goes it?
Fine.
It goes well.
We're, getting down to the end here.
Yeah.
One episode to go.
Indeed.
And I'm happy to announce for our finale podcast, we're going to have our friend Cleo, who's never watched any of the Vampire Diaries or any of the originals. Just watch that one finale episode, and she will be joining us for our podcast.
Should we explain that at least?
I just did.
Okay. Very special guest. She lost a bet. That's what she has to do.
She didn't lose a bet.
No, she just wants
You
to
lost the bet.
Oh, right. I lost the bet. That's right. She just wants to randomly come in on the season finale. Me, I have to be subjected to a show I know nothing about coming up soon.
And I get to pick, so yeah. Anyway, what'd you guys think about this episode?
It's very good.
It was very good.
It's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's not been an episode of this show, this season anyway, that I have not cared for. Last season, there was a couple slow episodes.
There were slow episodes, but they were still good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even the slow episodes were good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we got a lot out of this, and probably the biggest piece was Klaus's plan.
that one, you know what? He had a plan. They should have just listened to him.
Yeah.
Or was that part of his plan too?
You know, you
He
never
didn't clue them in on it, but I think he knew exactly how they were going to react. I think that was all part of their plan, or his plan, I should say.
It's very possible. It's very likely, actually.
Klaus knows exactly how his family behaves. He knows how they overreact. He knows what buttons need to be pushed to get what outcomes out of them.
Yeah, he explained that to Dahlia very, very, very much so. That
Mhm.
you need me because I know all this and you have no fucking idea. And they can run from you for a year and you will just go back to sleep and you won't have any chance to get help.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Except she does have hope. Very end of the episode, her and Klaus.
Her and
Retrieved
Klaus.
hope.
She didn't take hope.
No.
She's there. She
Right.
didn't take hope. They never showed it. She's there in the vicinity of hope.
Well, Klaus has hope. They're there. They're right outside the car. It's not like she's
They're
gonna
there.
drive the car away.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
But Klaus isn't dumb. He throws another angle at Dahlia. So
No,
Yeah.
no, I understand, but my point is, hope is in the possession of Klaus and Dahlia right now. So
She
not in
is.
Klaus's mind.
Not in
No,
Klaus's mind, no.
No,
Which-
Klaus thinks hope is all his, and Dahlia's just there for an ornament.
There was a great, I wasn't expecting that. How Klaus said, channel me, break your whole sleeping curse to make yourself immortal. Why didn't Dahlia think about that in the, 10 yet 1,000 years she's had to be a powerful witch?
Because I think it was more or less her trying to get back at Esther and Michael.
Mm.
I think it was more of a vendetta kind of thing than her actually thinking about breaking her curse.
see, after everything that was revealed last week, and I wasn't here last week. I was actually, you mentioned I was at Age of Ultron,
Mm-hmm.
and I was messaging you guys from within the show from the theater, but after everything that unfolded here, I don't think Dahlia is the bad guy at all.
No, and that last episode with Klaus and Dahlia's head, again, great job of humanizing villains, and they did an amazing job with her. Because
Right.
now I
But-
empathize for her.
But I
With
don't.
her.
You call her a villain. We have no evidence that she's a villain other than what Freya's told us. If Freya ends up being the villain here, and they do everything Freya says, and they defeat Dahlia, and then they turn around and Freya is really the one that's like been manipulating them the whole time to play off their fears of Dahlia. Like Dahlia explained herself very well. She said this is what happens. This is why I'm doing this. It's, she has her reasoning. I don't think she's trying to be evil about it.
But I don't think Freya has. I mean, unless Freya's out right now. She's unconscious. Dahlia knocked her ass out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, sure, Freya could be the villain in this whole charade. But Elijah and all the rest of them, they're not going to be able to knock her out of that state. So, I think Freya's kind of out of the game right now.
For the moment, but...
For the moment.
But
and
next episode is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing is, we just saw what happened when Klaus was incapacitated, right? And not last week, but the week before that, we were discussing how Klaus and Freya were basically the same, two sides of the same coin.
They're very similar, yeah.
I was going to mention that Freya has the same kind of ego, because we find out last episode that, Dahlia was trying to keep her power contained and not, run amok and blow shit up. And, they humanized Dahlia and all that crap. And then this episode, when, Dahlia just says, you thought you were the witch I loved most? Like, wow. You big chip on your shoulder,
sister.
Bitch. Exactly.
She loved Esther the most. That's why she's doing all of this shit.
Right,
exactly.
So now, what if the tables have turned and, Freya's the villain and Dahlia's the good one? This whole thing goes through and, it's Klaus's big plan to take Dahlia out and they succeed, right? Because we're going to say they succeed here because it's pretty much what the Mikealsons do. They're going to win. But then the big twist at the end of the episode and for the end of the season is going to be Freya actually played Klaus to do exactly what she wanted him to do the entire time. And then the next villain, we're dealing with the aftermath of Freya, or next season.
I think if they're going to go that route, I don't think Freya's going to, announce that she's the big bad in the season finale. She might, give us a wink in the camera,
when I mean by announce,
us.
I mean we know. Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
She'll end up playing them probably halfway through next season.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for the better part of next season, yeah.
I really don't know if Klaus is going to out Dahlia away, because I think he believes her, that Hope's going to need her help.
Yeah.
So,
likely.
And we know that he doesn't trust Freya one bit. She may have, poured her heart out to him, but he doesn't believe a word she has said.
And now especially with all of those, what seemed like genuine memories of Dahlia's past.
Mm-hmm.
That's more fuel to the don't trust Freya fire.
Right.
Well, to be fair, Klaus doesn't trust his own bunghole, so...
Yes, he doesn't trust his own ass. It is a very treacherous ass. He's had to live with it for 1,000 years. Would you trust your ass after 1,000 years? I don't think I would.
He doesn't trust absolutely anything.
I'm
He doesn't
27.
even trust the blood that runs through his veins.
I'm 27, and I'm questioning whether I should trust my butt. You're welcome, Dom. A small taste of what you do to us, son of...
I don't want to taste that.
Ooh.
Nobody would.
Not even a small taste. I don't want any of the taste. So let's take a vote right now. The real villain here. Freya, Dahlia. Mike, what do you think?
Honestly, a little bit of both.
Okay,
I don't know.
You're gonna go both. I'll give you that.
I don't know if either of them is the true villain. I think the two of them, both of their actions combined are creating one, villain between them.
Okay, so we're gonna put you in both columns right now, so it's tied. Nikki.
Mary.
What?
Jackson's mom. She's evil.
Okay, that was
really
not the choice.
No, I know. I'm not choosing because, yes, they're both evil, but so is Klaus.
Well, if you don't choose, I'm the tiebreaker, and when we know what happens when
don't make him the tiebreaker. Nikki, please choose one of the two.
Everybody is
beg
their
of you.
own villain in this show.
You're right. Everybody is a bit of a villain. in the show.
Some people might have a little bit more, they're on a higher podium, but eventually they're gonna get knocked out.
I'm voting for Freya.
And then somebody
Freya's
else
the
takes
villain.
that top podium. Like, look at Davina.
I don't think Dahlia is evil at all.
Look at Davina. She is gonna be some cranky bitch next season. And she's gonna wreak havoc.
You know
Is
what?
she?
I
I'm going to be very, very, very surprised if we don't have Cole in the finale.
I think the lengths Davina, now that she's the regent or whatever the hell, the lengths she's still going to have to go through to get Cole back, especially with this being necromancy and shit like that.
Corruption up.
It's going to either corrupt or there's going to be some crazy, magic always comes with a price. Shit. Or
Wrong show.
You know what? Doesn't matter. Same thing we're going on here. When
did Davina turn into Rumpelstiltskin?
I don't know, but it's some kind of shit is going to happen. Then Davina's gonna become at least an antagonist, if not a main big bad villain.
I think Vincent knew exactly what he was doing when he picked Davina, because he knows what she's trying to do. He knows the power behind the magic she's trying to use. And he wants all hell to break loose. I can see it in his eyes. He's not an innocent, I don't want to do magic anymore guy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely up to something, and putting Davina in power seems like it's going to benefit him the most. So.
Well, yeah, because they wanted him to fill the job as regent, and he wants nothing to do with magic, so that's benefiting him the most.
That.
Yeah, that's what he says, right? And nobody means what they say in this fucking
There's
show.
probably a consequence that comes with it that he didn't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, by making Davina be the regent, he gets the power without the consequence.
Yeah, because I don't think he might meddle in magic, but I don't think he's going to step away from that world. He might be her right-hand man.
And he only said that he
whispering
wanted
in
out,
her ear.
which that may have only been to drive the point for Davina,
True.
to kind of play into it, and because knowing he's number one in line for the regent, and he already has this plan cooked up. Oh, I want Davina to be the regent. I don't want to do magic anymore, and then Davina's like, well, I need your help. Okay, I help you this one time, but then I'm done. And then his plan is to turn her into the regent. There's something up with that.
Yeah, like nobody in this show doesn't have an ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other than Cammy. Cammy's pretty innocent, and that's why she gets walked all over.
You know what? And right, she does. And there was a time where I was just like, I dismissed Cammy as the Matt Donovan of this show. Like, she's the useless human who's just there.
She did good this episode.
She did good. I was honestly thinking she was dead or in a dying state. But that was pretty good. Way to go, Klaus.
When I saw her moving, I was like, oh no, she's in transition. Oh no, why they do that to poor Cammy? That's bad. That shouldn't have happened.
No, Cammy's going to stay human. She's going to stay human for a while. I don't think she's going anywhere.
Agreed.
I was very happy to know that she was still human. And Klaus does, he threw his voice into her mind. Is it the same thing as what Damon does and Stefan?
I believe so.
Just in a lesser sense, so that
I mean, for all we know, he could have whispered it to her. He was right there too.
No, she said he went into her mind.
Yeah, okay. She did say that.
Yeah.
That he got into my head. Or whatever.
He got into my head.
Right.
But I mean, like, he probably did it in such a subtle way that Miss Witchy Pants in the background probably couldn't sense it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, vampires are magical creatures or whatever, but I don't think that you could consider like their compulsion or their projection of mind. I don't think that's a spell, so I don't think it can necessarily be tracked. So I don't think Dahlia would have picked up on it.
Still, I mean, witches, they sense magic. I know it's not a spell, but they still sense magic. They can sense magical beings. They're not casting spells on themselves to be magic, right? So, I mean, he probably did it because there's so much going on. He did it in such a subtle way that she wouldn't have caught on, knowing that he was doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I dig it.
Yeah, so we had and that wasn't the only thing that Klaus did, because we saw how he was systematically he killed Elijah's girlfriend.
Yeah.
He killed Gia off, which,
Gia,
you know
yeah.
what? Omi told me this earlier. She's like, I didn't see her lasting, and now that I think about it, yeah, I didn't see her lasting either.
As soon as I saw like that like scene where she just barged into the compound and then Elijah like just kissed her, I was like, this is the most awkward relationship that I've
Yeah.
ever seen any of the characters on any of the shows be in.
There was much drama with Gia, and I didn't like her.
It just
Like I
didn't feel
was.
genuine between him and Elijah. Like Elijah is not the kind to have like this little fling kind of thing. And I'm not saying she was necessarily a fling, but he wasn't like out of his way passionate like we saw him with Catherine and Tatya and that other girl in the first season. And it's just like Gia did not feel the same. Did not feel worthy of Elijah.
No, no, she didn't. And like even when she first got turned, I was like, I don't know, she's shady. I don't like her. She just doesn't fit. And here we are. She really didn't fit. They killed her off. I mean, what happened to Rebecca? Did she just pass out?
Rebecca?
Rebecca.
She
Just
stabbed
stabbed
herself with a
herself in the-
screwdriver
In the
in
jugular.
the neck. She's human, which means she's now dead.
Yeah, Marcel was under compulsion to kill her if she left the room.
Right. And she goes, this is part of my brother's plan. My brother wants me to kill myself because if I kill myself, I'm going to jump back into my original body. That was her whole plan. So she's trusting the fact that she knows her brother so well that his plan was for Marcel to kill her. So she goes, "You're gonna kill me," and Marcel's like, "No, I don't want to do it." So she goes, "I'm gonna spare you that," and sticks a screwdriver in her own neck and kills herself.
But wouldn't all the other witches linked to her die too?
No, they unlinked her. It was the first scene of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I watched this episode twice today, and there are so many things that I've missed. I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know.
But you know what? Honestly, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that it was the first scene, I would have missed it too because it was just a quick,
Right.
happened. No fuss was made over it. No like, oh, we're unlinked now. I can join the fight.
Oh, that was the whole conversation where Freya told Rebecca that she's more powerful now. And okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yarp.
got you.
Yep.
I guess I clicked out some of it, but caught on to, some of it stuck.
So the big question is now, is it gonna work? Are we getting Claire Holt back?
Well, if we're not, then we just lost a major character, and we're under the impression that we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that this Rebecca is done yet.
I think she is.
I don't think
I
she
think
is.
Claire Holt is coming back. I will eat this pink hat if Claire Holt does not come back.
I don't want you
When?
to think
Next
that. You already
episode
have
or
enough
next
stomach
season?
problems.
Next episode.
No. I don't see her coming back right away.
See,
I don't know.
screwdriver. She took a screwdriver and she shoved it into her neck like this.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, she had Marcel there.
Marcel could have given her blood, but he didn't seem like he was in a rush to do so. Probably the compulsion on him.
Yeah, could have been.
In which case, well, I'm sorry, she's dead.
Well, I mean, the compulsion wasn't stopping him from saving her.
We don't know that. The compulsion told him to kill
Told
her.
him to not let her leave. If she did, then kill her.
Correct.
She didn't leave. He's still his compulsion wouldn't have taken over in any fact. He could easily have saved her in that moment.
I don't think so. I think Claire's
know.
coming back. Like I said, I'll eat that hat.
Eat the hat.
I will eat that hat.
Hey, he's going to be, making me watch something. I can only imagine what it's going to be. If I have to review My Little Pony or some craziness like that.
We will see. Outside of that, we had the werewolves. The werewolf pack. Haley Jackson and the entire pack are stuck as crescent wolves.
Modified for hybrid nature. Way to go, Dahlia. And bye-bye, Haley.
I wonder how that is going to come into
That's
play.
a good way. I mean, they were talking about, kicking her off for a while. And that's a good way to, but I don't think it's going to stick for that long. I mean, big plots like that, they usually don't stay.
Yeah, and suck. Yeah, and Klaus probably has a backup plan in mind for that. Because, this is before it was revealed that he's been he's been playing Dahlia this whole time.
Yeah.
So, but that would suck. Like, hey, we're finally broken from this curse after years and years of it being stuck. And now we're right back to it. Because it's being cast on our queen and we're linked to her.
To be honest, I think somehow Klaus is going to figure out a way to unbind Haley and Jackson. Because we all know he doesn't like Jackson and doesn't give a fuck about what Haley thinks about him. He's going to kill him off. He's going to figure out some way to unbind them so that all the other wolves are just regular werewolves. Because Klaus still wants that power. He wants that power over everything.
Well, I'm curious what happens if if Haley and Jackson ever separate. Does that whole unification ceremony undo itself?
I don't know.
We don't know.
That's why I was saying maybe Klaus finds a way to undo it. Maybe, Davina and her escapades, and her new escapades does something to them.
I thought you said ice capades for a second, and I'm like, why is Davina on ice skates?
Well,
Davina on ice. The original
is ice capades.
No. I just thought, I'm like, the Vampire Diaries on ice. That's just coming soon to Madison Square Garden.
I'd go watch that.
I probably would too.
I'd totally go watch that.
You know what? I would be too morbidly curious to not go see it.
Yeah.
Julie Plec, you know what you gotta do.
I'm curious if the werewolves are going to have any play in the finale here. Because this seems like a good way of, I don't know what to do with the werewolves right now, so let's just get them out of the picture for the time being.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that gives them a whole season, worth of writing to figure out what's going to go on with them, and it's a good way to just get them off to the side for right now.
Well, we know from, the lore of werewolves that they're good at traveling. They could have easily outrun Dahlia for a whole year.
Mm.
They could have, yes.
So they had to do something to them to kind of throw them off and get their hands on Hope. That's the only way they could have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So predictions for the finale. What are we gonna see here?
Predictions.
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say Claire Holt, and we're getting Cole back. Definitely. I'm saying those two are definite.
I'm like, Davina, like I said, lickety split. She's gonna try and get Cole back right away. So Cole coming back would be one of the number one things I would predict for this next episode. If not this episode, the very first scene in next season. I really don't think we're going to see Claire Holt as Rebecca. I think they're going to carry on the Rebecca they have now for a little while longer. And you know what? Fuck you, Dom.
What?
I'm going to predict that Dahlia isn't as evil as we're being led to believe. And that we're going to get Cole back, but it's not going to be very, very happy with what's-her-face? Davina and Cole. She's not going to be very happy about it.
Well, he might not be the Cole she expects. He might have been, who knows how long. He was, okay, how long was he in there? Okay, yes. On our side of the world, he's been dead for how long? I don't know, a couple months?
Yeah, ish.
But on the other side, where all those witchy ancestors are, who knows what kind of turmoil he's been in, because he was a vampire, and of Esther, and all the other things that he's done. So I don't think he's going to be the Cole we expect. I think he's going to be dark.
There's definitely going to be something up with Cole. I don't know what body we're going to see him in. Probably the newer body, if I had to make a guess. You know,
because that's the body Davina loved.
Yeah,
well,
but
it's not only that.
I'm not going to rule out Nathaniel.
It doesn't.
Buznell, whatever his name, you know, his body. Not going to rule it out, but I'm gonna say for purpose of storyline, he's closer in age to Davina in the other body. So
true.
However, I just through some magic of Googling while we were doing this, I found this lovely picture right here.
I watched the promo right before we started this, and I noticed it. I saw that scene, and it didn't even stand out to me to say, holy shit, there's Claire Holt. And I saw it, and I remember her blonde hair being there, and I was like, yep, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that scene is supposedly taken from the finale. There's Claire and Claire Holt back in Rebecca's original body there, and instantly you're like, oh, what's up with the snow?
Oh,
it's not snow.
What? I just did a Google thing too, and
what?
I can't even.
All right, well, hold on. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
We have snow, which is not snow, because the name of the next episode is called Ashes to Ashes. So that is clearly Ash. And it says, with time running out, Klaus's ultimate plan to protect baby Hope at all costs continues to take shape. As tensions between the siblings come to a head, Cammy reveals a vital piece of information that causes Elijah and Rebecca to consider their plan of attack against Dahlia. Davina finds herself one step closer to fulfilling the promise she made to Cole, while Freya is forced to take drastic measures to protect herself against Dahlia. Elsewhere, Marcel has to put aside his fury at Klaus in order to protect himself and everyone in their sire line. So don't forget, Klaus dies, Marcel and Stefan and Damon and everybody else dies. Meanwhile, Vincent finds himself torn between the prospects of a magic-free life away from New Orleans and a personal obligation to protect Davina. Finally, with their risky plan in place, the Mikealson siblings prepare for the fight of their lives.
Interesting.
So, I don't know if it's a flashback or if it's a real scene with Cole coming back, but it is not Daniel Sharman who was this new Cole. It is exactly who you think it is, Dom. Who you would love to see.
Nathaniel?
Yeah. It is Nathaniel.
And Davina's probably not expecting that. She's probably expecting Caleb body, not original Cole body.
Right. That's gonna make for some interesting. That's gonna be great. We're gonna have all of the Mikealsons back in their original bodies, Freya included. Like the whole family's gonna be back together.
Why do I have a strange feeling? Yeah, except Finn.
Who cares about Finn?
Nobody cares about Finn. Why do I have a strange feeling that Davina is the type of shallow bitch who's going to not be very happy with Cole in his original body?
She's not.
She's not gonna be at all.
Not.
No, she's just gonna be like, but baby, it's me. It's still me. It's just like, ew. Get out of my face. Ew.
It's not what she's going to be expecting, and she's going to want to, transfer him back into the other body, and he's not going to want to do it.
No.
Nope. Because he's going to be back in an original vampire body.
Correct.
Does he really want to be a vampire?
He was enjoying having eternal life.
Okay.
And he's not a run-of-the-mill vampire either. He's an alpha vampire, basically.
Right.
He is... It's got perks.
So, what I am going to say is, don't have to eat this.
No, you don't.
I should have bet twice on that. Got Claire and
I wouldn't have
Nathaniel.
done anything, just so you know. I don't bet.
No, I'm just saying, I whatever.
You would have ate two hats?
Yeah, 2 hats.
2 hats?
Two hats.
I would have ate your hat.
No.
The look just got so serious on that
We went
face.
through hell to get that hat. We got accused of trying to lie to a Russian cashier.
Yeah.
For that hat.
I would have ate the hat in front of her.
That would have been
In front of the Russian cashier?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But
What made
Winter
you
Winters in chat says, Holt! Claire goes here.
A very annoying cat.
Winter, you have all the puns all the time.
I love it. I love it.
You and Dom would be best friends.
We are best
Just
friends. What do you
saying.
mean would be? We're already best friends.
I can't
IRL?
feel my legs.
Of course, IRL.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we be? We're total. I'm coming over Winter's house right after this podcast. We're gonna bake a cake and watch Vampire Diaries.
Piece of cake to make a pretty cake.
I can tell you I know that Winter, he doesn't like the Vampire Diaries.
It's okay. He likes Buffy. He's a Buffy fan.
Oh, so you're going to watch Buffy?
No, I'm gonna
Oh.
get him into the Vampire Diaries.
I'd watch Buffy.
So
Did you cancel your Netflix yet? Buffy's on
I
Netflix.
did cancel Netflix
Oh, why did you do that? There's so many good shows on the Netflix.
because
Because-
23 hours and 48 minutes I would have been charged. That's why. So, in conclusion, are you guys excited for the finale?
Yes. I've
I mean,
said it multiple times. This show is pretty damn good in my book.
yeah,
so
I mean,
I'm
this
usually
is one of the show. Like, we do a lot of shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's the originals and Gotham, and I look forward to those every week.
Mm-hmm.
Originals is
So-
the one show I haven't had any real gripes with.
Yeah.
So, again, I look forward to it. I mean, I look forward to talking about originals more every week.
Mhm.
As far as show goes, I look forward to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. more than anything every week.
I mean, I enjoy podcasting in general, so I'm okay. I mean, I like, even if I'm not liking an episode, I enjoy doing the podcast because usually I'm in some sort of disagreement with somebody else, and it's just fun to go back and forth most of the time.
Hey, for Supernatural, I thought you and Cleo were going to be at each other's necks over Charlie.
I can't wait to see what you two are at each other's throats for in the finale when Cleo comes on next week.
She's probably not going to say much.
It'll
For
be,
this-
Oh no, we're gonna make her talk. It'll
No,
be great.
she's going to sit down and probably take notes for this show.
I hope she talks more than any of us. That's my expectations for our finale podcast.
It's going to be
So.
interesting.
It is.
It'll be
'Cause
hilarious.
We typically don't bring people on the show that have not watched before. We usually try to get very knowledgeable people, but you know, then we do have people like Winter Winters in chat, which is not very familiar with the franchise at all. So somebody that has never watched it before, Winters, like, you'll get their impressions next week, and you'll see, like, is this a show that I might be interested in? Who knows?
And Cleo, believe me, she's not. I mean, if she has impressions, she's gonna make sure you hear them. She's not a quiet person when it comes to, like, when she's got something down on a piece of
apparently
paper.
Winters just watched the Vampire Diaries, so
Oh, hello.
he says Vampire Diaries is okay. So.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
So, I think that about wraps this up. I'm extremely looking forward to this finale now, even more so now that I know Nathaniel's back.
Good. So good.
Nathaniel and my future ex-girlfriend, Claire Holt.
Mm-hmm.
What if she never becomes an ex-girlfriend?
Ooh. You like that, Luna?
Future ex-girlfriend.
Luna likes it.
Yeah. Mike, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Philadrin. Not down there. Up there. Twitter and Twitch. Mostly Twitter.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
Not there either.
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
That's dumb.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon.
Do-do-do-do.
PHENOMEDOM. You can also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows.
Hey, Luna's rarely on screen.
Until next week.
Stop covering her up.
We'll see you guys later.
Laters.
Bye.
And yeah, I would love to see Dean kill all the vampires except for Damon. That's okay. He can stay alive.
I still want a Supernatural Vampire Diaries crossover.
That'd be so
I
funny.
really, really, really want it.
Oh boy.